Hey guys, it's your girl Frida with another literacy tip. So I told you in July we're diving into the standards. What standards? Next generational learning standards connected to ELA. Because, as I said in our first dive of R1, standard R1 pretty much is a scholar and a teacher must be able to ask and answer questions about whatever they're reading. That might be a fictional story like Cinderella, which has multiple versions. That might be a informational text like a biography. That might be an article. That might be a magazine. You must be able to ask and answer questions, which means that you must be able to understand the standard. When we ask very low-level questions with the same repeated vocabulary like, well, what did the text say? And then you have scholars respond, the text says, you limit their vocabulary. You won't always be reading a text. You will be reading articles, you will be reading magazines. There will be multi-mixed media opportunities for you to build your comprehension. So we must plan explicitly in preparation for them making meaning. So we did R1, now we're going into R2, and I'm going to just read what R2 says. R2 is a next generational learning standard that says, for a scholar needs to determine central ideas or themes and summarize key supporting details in literary, which means fiction, or informational text. So what does that mean? You have to identify the central ideas in a text, right? And so that means that I have to be asking myself questions. I have to be tracking. I have to be making meaning of what's going on. If it's a text, it might be what's happening or what has happened from paragraph 1 on up to paragraph 24. If it's an article, I had to make meaning of the entire article. If it's a book or chapter, I had to be able to make meaning in chapter 1 by asking and answering these questions and wonderings in order to understand chapter 2. So for example, and this could be a excerpt, meaning just a little bit of a text. This could be a overall text which has 17 paragraphs. This could be an article. What did Phyllis Wheatley think about equity in terms of education, and how was that theme displayed throughout the text or the article or the book? So a scholar has to be able to make meaning no matter what. Let's keep going. They must be able to then analyze, ask questions, pull out evidence in order to make meaning. So I'm thinking about Phyllis Wheatley. I'm wondering why she chose to say this word in paragraph 2. I'm wondering how that connects to paragraph 6. And now you must summarize everything that I read about the big topic relating to Phyllis Wheatley. How does that help me to understand her idea about equity in education? So when we think about R2, it still requires us to ask and answer questions, but now we're diving deeper with theme, key ideas, summarizing in order to make meaning of the text. Because if we don't understand how to plan from that lens, then we can't help scholars make meaning conceptually. Happy planning.